What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to break down what's going on with the market. A lot of things up today. We know this morning everything was up pre-market, and now things are still continuing to carry on. Things are starting to slightly pull back. We just noticed that right before we started the video. Things are starting to kind of pull back just a little bit. But massive news for NIO. We got the debt ceiling relief, finally, thank God. And then, yeah, I mean, just a whole bunch of crap going on today. But first things first, we ask you guys to hit that sub button. It's the best way to support the channel. Keeps you guys up to date on everything that's going on in the stock market. But without further ado, let's give it some razzle dazzle and hop into it. So let's go ahead and knock off the old Democrat, DC, Republican, debt ceiling relief thing that they got going on down there. So they did finally pass the debt ceiling, a temporary, I should say, and this is what, till December or something?
Yeah, I believe December 3rd. So yeah, we'll just
kick the can down the road, man. That's all we're doing.
Yep.
We both mentioned it on our videos this morning in our own channels. Those links are in the description if you guys are interested in those. But yeah, so they basically delayed it through December, and Republicans wanted an exact number to work with, and that's kind of what was the holding point here. Is they wanted to work with a number, not just a date. So that's kind of really what held the whole process up. So I'm kind of hoping that things are starting to look up for the market. Things are really green today, but I'm hoping it's not temporary, because when December rolls around, we could potentially be in this same issue with them trying to pass a debt ceiling, relief garbage.
Yep. Yeah, I think we'll go back to the same thing back in December. We'll be, complaining about the same crap, just them just bickering at each other and
right.
So
because heaven forbid we pay them to do something, a bunch of turds. But let's go ahead and look at the market and show you guys what's going on, because a lot of things are green, and we're just going to break down some of the stocks that we've been watching and what's going on with them. But first one on the list is AMD. AMD's up 3%. This one was at a stupid good buy price when it was down towards its 100, down even below 100, down to $98. I think that was a great buy price. Yep. We do know that AMD was trading sideways for most of the year, consolidated, and then now it's just all of a sudden starting to rip all the way up to, we saw a high of 122, and I know TipRanks has the thing ranked pretty high as well. Oh, yeah. So up 3%, looking fantastic today. Another one on the list is Ford. Ford up 5% today. Now, a lot of things with Ford and GM is the fact that they're both trying to get into the EV sector. We know that GM, said that they're going to be starting to dump a lot of money into the EVs, and they said they wanted to outpace Tesla or something ridiculous. Because
we'll see
that's going to happen.
Right. We'll see what happens there.
Right.
It's still GM.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But with Ford also releasing the Ford Lightning, things are looking good for them. They're up to almost $15, up 5% today. They had a high of $16.46, and then it pulled back down to the 13. So I'm not too familiar with the Ford stock. I don't know what the price targets are for this, but I know with them converting over to EVs, that could be another bullish run for Ford and GM, and help get them in the right direction that all these EVs are starting to go. Yeah. But Lucid is kind of taking a hit. It really hasn't done a whole lot today. I know it's pretty much consolidated sideways all day. It started off decent, but then it kind of pulled back and just traded sideways for the most part of the day.
Yeah, I bought just a little bit, because I don't know, it was weird that it wasn't up, so I bought a little bit. If it goes down tomorrow, I'll buy a little more. But going back to the Ford GM thing, I think a big issue, why I said it's still GM, why Tesla stands out and why they are at the price and everything that they are is because the profit margins, well, that's not only the reason, but a lot of the reason is the profit margins they make on their cars are I don't know. Last time I saw it was around 3 to 5%, depending on the model, or not percent, 3 to 5 times higher than your average car, like Volkswagen, what they sell theirs at. Right. So for GM to really blast off like they say they're going to, they really need to get those profit margins up on the vehicles, like Tesla does, which I don't. Right. That's my issue, is I don't really see that happening. So yeah, just wanted to go back to that real quick. But yeah, Lucid
and that's a solid point. That's obviously a key factor here, and like you said, that's definitely what's separating them from Tesla. And if they can't do that, it's just not going to happen.
Then they're not going to be Tesla. Right. So yeah, I will see what happens. But that's years down the road anyway when that's going to happen.
Right. Exactly. But the last one on the list, well, I don't want to say last one, but another one, NIO, up 6.94%. It's starting to have some kind of pullback here. We are seeing I guess we'll see if this $36 holds. I know this was the old previous support there for a while. We were holding like that $35 to $36 range. So we'll see if $36 does seem to be some kind of support. And it also was a kind of a resistance as well, because we couldn't seem to break past it. So if we can break past it and maybe get up above it, it'll put us back in this range where we consolidated sideways from that $36 to $40 range, which again would be absolutely huge. But things are starting to kind of pull back a little bit, and market's going to be winding down the last hour. We'll see if things can hold on. My biggest concern with everything being green today is, obviously they delayed this. I'm kind of hoping this isn't just a quick pump and that things actually hold their value and we kind of see a reversal here. I'm hoping that we're at the bottom of this pullback as well. Over the last 2 weeks, this market's pulled back like upwards of 5%, 10%, somewhere in that ballpark. Like, I really want to see this thing start to rally back up and, people start to swing back into tech and, get this thing back on a bullish run.
Yeah, like I said a couple days ago, when we were all red days and then we had the one green day, I guess that was yesterday, I said, don't get too excited. It's just one green day after all these red days. It could just be a bull trap, as they say, or a dead cat bounce, or whatever term you want to name it these days. Right. Dead cat bounce, yeah, I don't know. But 2 days in a row is good. Obviously, this could be the start of the recovery, but tomorrow is Friday as well. So that usually means red days, but we will see. We will see. But if this is the start of the recovery, then this, obviously is just the start. We could really start ripping and hopefully get back up to high 30s, 38, 39, possibly 40 would be nice.
Right. Let's see this thing rip and tear, man. Get back into ripping and tearing.
Yeah.
Right.
We need to get back up to the old
55. Why stop there? Right.
Well, right. All right. Let's be a little realistic here. But yeah, I want 80, but
you just stop there, $100. Let's do it.
Right.
But the big news for NIO was Goldman Sachs did raise their neutral rating to a buy rating, and they did have an unchanged price target of $56. So that is fantastic news. My year-end prediction, after the September numbers came out, I adjusted my year-end prediction, especially with it pulling back even more. I want to see this thing anywhere between that $55 and $60 range by the end of the year. I was upwards of 70 to 80, I believe, at towards the beginning of the year. But obviously things change. You can't keep predictions like everyone's predicting $100 at the beginning of the year, but that was before everything was shut down and chip shortages and that, like, things change. So you got to remember that. But hopefully things hold for NIO, because this is a much needed win for them to see this thing run. I'm really hoping it continues to run. NVIDIA is starting to slowly creep back up as well. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, hopefully this kind of starts a chain reaction, kind of like you saw with Lucid, where one bank gives a fantastic price target and then just kind of, gives other banks more confidence, I guess. I don't know. They kind of follow each other a lot of times. So it'd be nice if more came out and gave, raised their price targets, or at least reiterated or, gave buy ratings. And it'd be fantastic if we saw like a Lucid situation where this thing just ripped 40% in like a week. Not really expecting it, but I mean, it could.
Right. Well, that's something I mentioned in my video earlier this morning, is that it's like the fact that I don't want to see NIO blow up in a matter of 2 weeks, because that's going to cause a massive pullback. I want to see this thing go up to $50, $60 by the end of the year, not within 3 weeks, where all of a sudden we're going to have this massive sell-off like we had here in the past. Last time we saw this thing down at $30, it ripped to $55. But what was that? That was beginning of July, and it started back in May. May, June, July. So like 2 or 3 months, it ripped, and then it pulled back. So could be in that same time frame.
Sorry, I keep talking over you.
No, it's fine. That's what happens when you freeball these videos. So, but yeah, so NVIDIA as well. Let's hop on NVIDIA, because NVIDIA has had a massive pullback from the 220 that it had over the last coming weeks, or I should say months. It was made its all the way up to 225 after the split, and then it pulled itself down to 200. I'm sitting here holding at 220, because that's when we had the massive pullback in the market, and I thought it was going to continue to fall or bounce right back off of that, and sure enough, it just kept dipping. It kept dipping, but that's all right. I'm holding on to NVIDIA because I know this is a strong, solid growth stock. Obviously before the split, this thing just took off. So
yeah, looking back at my buys on NVIDIA, I was buying pretty much every day or every other day. So like 928, 929, October 1st, and my latest was October 4th. So I just kept buying it as it kept going down because, like you said, this is fantastic long-term play. I mean, if you look at the chart, it's unreal. So yeah,
right. I mean, we were at $800 before the split, so
right.
Looks good, feels good.
Yep.
But the last one on the list is Palantir. Palantir, sorry, we're kind of just going over a lot of the stuff that a lot of you guys are watching and ask for. Palantir had a nice rip yesterday, up like 10% or so when the market opened, but it quickly lost all of that yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even holding anything. No. And today it's pretty much just like consolidated sideways. It's just gone up and then it pulled back a little bit and sideways for most of the day. And now as we make it towards the late afternoon, an hour or so before closing, it's kind of pulled itself back. So we'll see if Palantir can kind of make some kind of plays there. Palantir has me sketchy. I still think this is a great long-term play, but I want to see this thing pull back into that $20 to $22 range before I would make any kind of entry into Palantir.
Yeah, like you said, I think it's going to be great long term. I think short term is going to be kind of rocky though, but long term I see fantastic things. But yeah, buying around $20 would be awesome, but I don't know if we'll get down that far. Like 21 would still be all right, but yeah, I think it needs to pull back just a little bit.
I mean, if they can get those Army contracts, I think we'll be good to go, but we'll see what happens with that. But that's going to wrap up this video. We hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, let us know in the comment section below what you guys did. What are your plans? We know Neo obviously ripped a lot of people in the comment section over the last coming days. A bunch of negative Nellies out here. Yeah. It's too hot for them to handle, so
they won't be here today, though.
Did you guys sell? Right. Where you at? Where you at? I don't hear you barking. Did you guys buy? Did you sell? What's the plan here? I'd love to talk to you guys about it. We love to talk to you about it. So let us know. But again, that's going to wrap it up. Don't forget to hit that like, share, notification bell, all that good stuff. There's also a link down there where you get yourself a cool Stock Dudes t-shirt. Shout out to Bob. He picked one up the other day and we saw it in our Discord. Fantastic there. But again, thank you guys so much for all your continued support. We really do appreciate it. It really does mean a lot. We know the videos are few and far between. We're trying to pick that up as well, but we also have videos on our own channels as well. The links are down in the description for that if you guys want to go check out our own personal channels. But again, thank you so much for all your support, and we'll see you guys in the next video.